What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Rant Review Pro Wrestling, and we have so much to catch up on from this past week in the world of pro wrestling. We're going to start off with AEW, who have been doing some bang-up work this past week, both with Dynamite and Collision following Forbidden Door. So the big news coming out of AEW is the heel turn of MJF. MJF, who was known as being one of the best heels the first couple years he was in the company. He became a face last year, the whole Adam Cole bromance thing, which was a good story. Had an okay conclusion to it. MJF then took off about 7-8 months because of injury after he lost the AEW championship, and he came back, and I was suspecting that he might turn heel. I didn't completely know he was going to turn heel, but when it seemed like there wasn't much for him to do, especially given what he's been doing the first couple weeks back in AEW, I kind of thought that he might be turning heel. And then the shocker of shockers came where he did turn heel on Daniel Garcia, and the way they did it was in such a wonderful way. You've immediately upped Daniel Garcia's profile instantly. This guy's going to have so much sympathy for him when he does come back to wrestling. And though I got to give it up to Daddy Magic. I think that's his name. Yeah, Daddy Magic. I always get their names confused ever since the Jericho Appreciation Society. But there's one of those extra videos on the YouTube channel. I would suggest watching it. It's really good. Not only for Daddy Magic's reaction to the aftermath of MJF kayfabe injuring Daniel Garcia, turning on him and getting all that heat, but also Jeff Jarrett, who lost his first round match in the Owen Hart Tournament after that video they put out that got me and a lot of other people kind of wanting him to win it. He had to face a mystery opponent who was Hangman Adam Page, who's come back, and he is on a mission to go after Swerve Strickland. He does not care. He does not care that he's lost to G.O.A.T 4 times. He does not care that Jeff Jarrett is a legend and it was one of Owen Hart's friends. He doesn't even care that the Elite reinstated him and want to be buddies with him again. He ain't got time for them neither. Hangman is a single-minded focus. That dude is driven off of so much anger that he wants to go to All In and go up against Swerve Strickland and take the world title away from him. Plus, Hangman's a former world champion who lost his title to somebody we don't mention in AEW anymore unless you're one of the troll fans in the audience. But this is all worked out really well. I liked how this has all come together. Swerve and Hangman's feud still ongoing, coming back to it again. We also have the whole problem with MJF and him not needing to be the number one face in the company anymore because they have a new number one face, and his name is Will Ospreay. Osprey also going through his own stuff, leaving the Don Callis family. You know that's going to come back to bite him in the butt later on. Kyle Fletcher, his best mate, is still in the Don Callis family, so that's causing some tension in the future. A lot of good moving parts here to AEW, the company that apparently doesn't have storylines, but what I just described is so interwoven. It's a storyline, and I like I like where it's going. I like the subtlety in it, and I like the fact that AEW does not, they show, don't tell, as opposed to certain other companies that just tell you everything and show you very little. So, this was pretty good. I enjoyed everything that they did on Dynamite and Collision. As I mentioned, Hangman Page got his first win over G.O.A.T in a singles match. I've saw those guys wrestle in New Japan so many times. G.O.A.T was always the number one star. Now the tables have flipped. G.O.A.T is no longer the main event guy, and Hangman Page, the up-and-comer. Now Hangman has kind of eclipsed G.O.A.T. There's also been some... that ties into another storyline. Christian Cage and the patriarchy against the Bang Bang Gang. Christian Cage is the real reason why G.O.A.T lost that match to Hangman Page, so that's going to get even more intense going forward. So it looks like they're setting up some really good stuff for All In. Britt Baker had a great promo she came out with this past week as she's heading to face Mercedes Moné. We got Mariah May and her. I kind of think Mariah May is winning this tournament and going on to face Toni Storm at All In. So the All In card, whereas last year's kind of felt like, hey, we're just putting it together, this year's definitely feels like we're getting the culmination of some long-term storytelling. Well, imagine that in All Elite Wrestling. I don't know. The ratings and the viewership, that's a whole other story. But as long as they keep producing good stuff like this, I think at this point they still have a consistency issue, but if they can consistently keep building on angles the way they've been doing the last couple of months, I think they'll be fine. They're also going to have to kind of wait for the other company to not be on fire anymore, which they may be waiting a while for that to happen. But I think that has a lot to do with the reason why AEW is not resonating with the audience, even though those of us who do watch the show go, the show's been pretty good the last couple weeks. The only problem is it's just not consistent. And then this week we might get like a dud of a Dynamite, and then we might get a dud the next week, and then the 2 weeks after that will be really good. So that's the thing that it always comes down to consistency, because they got the setup and delivery stuff down now. They've done that. They're doing an excellent job of that. So now it's just being consistent about it across the board. But I enjoyed everything I saw. Well, not everything. There was a couple things of Dynamite and Collision this week that they still got the random matches and people with no direction, like Claudio Castagnoli, who Claudio has not. I don't think Claudio has had a proper feud of his own. He's been in them with the Blackpool Combat Club, but I don't think he's had a proper rivalry since. Now, Claudio, I could see going after Okada for Okada's championship, or maybe if Danielson doesn't win, because we're going to find out this week, it's Danielson and Hangman in the finals of the Owen Hart Tournament. Maybe Claudio's the reason that Danielson doesn't win. Who knows? There's a lot of moving parts, but I want to believe there's a reason they put Claudio on Collision in a random squash match on Saturday, but I could be wrong. But I want to see Claudio get a proper rivalry in AEW. He's been there for 2 years now. He debuted at Forbidden Door 2 years ago, and he hasn't had his own thing. So I like to see Claudio get his own thing going forward. But that's my thoughts on the past week of All Elite Wrestling. What do you guys think? Let your voice be heard in the comment box below. We got other videos coming up. The G1 final slots have been set, so we're going to be talking about that later on this week, and we're also going to be, of course, doing a review of one of the 5 pay-per-views I actually do look forward to from WWE. Sorry, premium live event that I do look forward to from WWE every single year, and that is the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. In my opinion, one of the big 5 pay-per-views from WWE. And it happened. There's a lot of stuff that happened on it. There's some big news coming out of it, so if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when that video comes out. Or if you're a little bit later, check out my channel and the video's probably already up there. Until next time, I will see you guys here for more news, rumors, and commentary on the Rant and Review Pro Wrestling. Have a good day.